Hey, what's up, Command Bar? You are first indeed, my sir. You are first indeed. Glad you're here, man. Good to see you. I hope life is treating you well. Good morning, Max Dev Mastery. It is going well. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well too. You are first. You are first. Yep, you're first on Twitch, I guess. Somebody beat you on YouTube, but you are first on Twitch. Yep. Good to see you this morning. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, who cares about that YouTube? Huh? It's funny, all those different like streamers that I watch, the chat does really have like in all the streams I watch, chat always is competing between Twitch, YouTube, Kick. It's kind of funny. No matter what you do, humans are always tribal. We are a tribal creature. Alright, let's see. What do we got on the plan today? So I think today we are going to try to work on the front end a little bit. We need to implement some logout. We need to clean up our sidebar. We need to implement a way to view our transactions on the front end. So we have quite a bit of things we can do. I'm just following the flow. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for following the flow, man. All right. We got water, we got coffee, we got oranges. We have the vibes. Vibes acquired. All right. So we want to tackle first. I think let's tackle logging out first. That probably would be a good thing to tackle. Let's see. Oh, actually, hold on. Before we do that, let's go ahead and merge the current branch. Get status, get push. What did we call this branch? Yeah. Okay. Get GHPR create. Do GHPR merge. Nope. Rebase. Do not delete it. Submit it. Get checkout main.
Did we just become best friends?
Thank you very much, Ivan, for the sub. Appreciate you. Work on the. I am. Yep, I am. See, what is your monitor setup? Is your monitor vertical or horizontal? So I have a horizontal monitor. I just cut part of the screen, like I just sliced part of the screen off so that it fits vertically on YouTube in the layout that I have in Meld Studio, which is the broadcast software I use. But my general monitor setup is I have one 27-inch monitor that sits right in front of me, and then I have an ultra wide monitor off to the left of me below the camera. And then I do have a second 27-inch monitor over here that's kind of off to the side where I'm looking to my right. But that monitor I typically just use for gaming for my Xbox. Noise, yes, noise indeed. All right, let's do get checkout Stephen Freeborn. Allow user to log out. Oops. Push. Set that up. Let's do Aspire. I'm pretty sure Aspire has a watch mode now. Aspire dev. Let's see. Watch. Aspire config. There we go. Enable watch mode by default for run command. Yeah, I want this default watch mode. So how do I? Default. And I'm guessing that just sets to true. Aspire run. Okay. Oh, the output wasn't any different, but okay. So here's our existing front end. Let's go ahead and get logged in. Oops. Oh, password. Okay. So we have a logout button. Now the logout button works on the front end, but it doesn't do anything on the back end. So we need to fix that. So if we click log out, it does log us out, but it doesn't actually. It does on the front end. It clears the token on the front end, but it doesn't get rid of the cookie, and it doesn't clear out the refresh token. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick. So we need to go here. Let's put the thing. Max when front end is done before back end. Well, right now my back end's actually further along than my front end. But yeah. But yeah, on this particular feature, yes. On this particular feature, we did implement the log out on the front end before we did the back end. Melty, I missed the days when seeing your notification meant that I was being productive. Now it just means that I've been up too long. Well, what have you been doing? Have you been up too long being productive? Is that, I mean, that's okay. Kurt's early live. Well, this is what I would consider our normal time. The last couple days have been kind of we were out of sorts. Which, if you think about it, now that we're in daylight saving time, it's really 3:34 a.m. in the morning, not 4:34 a.m. So this is actually very early. Been trying to sleep for the last like 4 hours. Watched 2 movies in the process. I've had those nights, man. I've had it. I've had it. I feel for you. Well, maybe if you listen to my voice drone on about code related things or just talking through my code as I implement it, maybe that will help you drift off to sleep. That's how my stream is going to get popular. People are going to use it to go to sleep. Oh, your time changed because usually for me you go live 11:30, but now it's 10:30. Yes. So Kurtz, that's because I am in a part of the world that observes daylight saving time. So that's why. So yes, it is very early. If your time didn't change, yes, it's very early. Good morning, Prince Kanandu. Hope all things are well in Ghana. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming back. You know, there's areas of the U.S. that don't follow daylight savings. Yeah, I think it's isn't Arizona one of them? There's a couple states, right, that have basically been like, "Fuck you guys, we're not doing that anymore." Let's see, U.S. states that don't follow daylight saving. Hawaii and Arizona, I guess. And then looks like maybe there's some permanent daylight saving. Arizona, Hawaii. I guess considered legislation means they've considered going permanently. Yeah, it's kind of silly. I mean, we really do need to get rid of it. It's for more than one reasons. Same in Canada. Nice. Good morning, Blackfire. Good to see you. Yes, Arizona. It don't make sense to me though, because they still change their clocks though, I think. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. You would think the whole reason you would stop doing it is so that you didn't have to mess with your clocks. Huh. That's so weird, Melty. Yeah, I did not know that. I mean, I knew that Arizona was one that opted out, but I think I did not know that they were still adjusting their time. So weird. I mean, when you think about it though, the world is really weird in that way. Like when you think about the fact that like so much of the reasons we do things and live our lives particular way is because people that are dead and buried but long ago decided that this particular law or rule or practice was a good idea, and we've all just kind of continued to follow it blindly. It's kind of interesting when you actually stop to think about that. You know, like how many things in this world should we actually really reconsider doing because they don't really serve us anymore, but we just keep doing it because that's just how we've always done it. Okay, Copilot, calm down there. Let's see, log out when called. Um, it should expire. Uh, refresh. All right. Max Dev Mastery. Are you using clean architecture? Two time dates in C sharp. What are two time dates? And as far as using clean architecture, I sort of am. I kind of have a weird architecture going on. I have like a clean architecture setup where I kind of do have separate projects where the dependencies are supposed to sort of move from the inside out. But I also have sort of a vertical slice thing where I'm still grouping things with each individual project by like the feature they're related to. So it's kind of a mixed bag of sorts, honestly. Coffee Java. I do have coffee. We are not writing Java. We're writing C sharp. But a lot of people have told me it looks like Java. So that wouldn't surprise me if you said that as well. Whoops. on, where did I just put that? Date time and date time too? Huh. I don't think I've seen this. Oh, this is related to some sort of SQL thing. DB type dot date time, both map to .NET type. Huh. SQL Server 2008 introduced new data types for handling data. Dude, this article is probably 1,000 years old that they linked to. Huh. Yeah, that's weird. I did not know that there was a date time too. That's pretty funny. But it looks like it's very specifically in that SQL DB type enum. It looks like it's an old .NET standard thing. Well, I guess it is in systemdata.common too. Huh. Very strange. Never used that before. So much legacy shit, that you run into. No, yeah, you're right. It is. It's in system.common.data, so it's weird. So weird. uh let's see. Hi there. Can you mention sorry. Hi there. Can you mention structured JavaScript course for free online? And like your channel, it's very interesting. Well, thank you for saying that about my channel. I don't know if it's interesting, but it is mine, so I try to make it what I want it to be. As far as structured JavaScript course, Hoon, I always point people to Free Code Camp. Um, I think very highly of Free Code Camp as an organization. I think very highly of Quincy Larson and the team there, and so that's where I always recommend people to go and start. Um, I just feel like they have a very well structured curriculum that has a very fast feedback loop, and they push you towards project based learning. So it's not just about like memorizing syntax and learning the fundamentals, but there's also a point at which they sort of say, okay, here's a set of requirements. You need to go and implement a site or go implement a project that satisfies these, which I think is a much more real simulation of what is going to happen to you in the real world when somebody asks you to build them something. Um, and so that's why I always recommend it. So hopefully you find it helpful. They have a full stack web dev course, which I think is a good place to start if you want to get your feet dirty or hands dirty, feet dirty, hands dirty with JavaScript. So hopefully you find that helpful. Good morning, Omanian. What are you doing over there on YouTube? You're in the wrong place, my guy. Just kidding. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Off the group. Map. Logout. Endpoint. Okay. So let's go ahead and set things up here in our test. So the first thing we need is a user. So let's do. Well, actually, let's just log in and then let's just log out. Well, no, let's actually set the user up and everything. So, where are we? When user exists, yeah. So let's go ahead and get the user. I guess we actually do need to kind of log in. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do this. Log out. Okay, so we'll set up the user in our database. We will make a request to the login URI, which we do not have. We don't need to assert this. Hi, Stephen. When did you join the software industry? I didn't start working in tech until 2020, like August of 2020. And then I didn't start working on the product side of tech or like the more technical side of the house in tech until like 2021. So I originally started, my first job was in support. And then after a little while, I moved over to be a manual. I'm strictly talking about from like a professional perspective. And then I moved over to the QA team like a year roughly into employment, and then was only doing really manual stuff for a little while, and then slowly worked myself more into like actually being paid to write code. So about 5 years total now. But yeah, there's my LinkedIn if you guys ever want to see kind of how my professional journeys unfolded there. There's a my LinkedIn profiles right there. Happy to connect with you guys over there. Tafikin, hello Tafikin, how are you? Let's see, why are you always using ASP for the backend? There are tons of options to try to use like Spring, Boot, Golang. Because I like .NET, and this is actually not ASP. These are minimal APIs that I'm working with. But I like .NET on the back end. I enjoy working with C Sharp. I've never tried Spring Boot. I've never written any Java. I did learn Golang last year, and that was a ton of fun. So I do believe Golang is a great option for the back end, but I just prefer C Sharp, which I think is okay. I think it's okay to prefer things different to other people. Is it? Is it okay? Am I allowed to do that? I'm being facetious. All right, so we log in, and let's just make sure res dot ensure success, and then .NET is the go. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, but I understand we don't all feel the same way about certain things. Okay, and then let's also make sure that we have a refresh token. So let's do await var refresh user refresh tokens equals await API dot execute async. We pass in the context, pass in the test context dot current dot cancellation token like this. What is this project about? This project is basically like a personal finance application. It just serves as kind of a place to aggregate my data from my bank accounts into one place. Excuse me. Big yawn. Okay, so we're gonna do return await context dot refresh it says set refresh token dot where excuse me. Name user does not exist in the current context. Well, I guess we need to return it. Say var user equals. And then we can say var user equals that, add it, save the changes, return it. Nope, I don't want to use expression body. I want to say where. And then we'll say we'll just say to list async, pass that in. So now we should be able to say user refresh tokens should contain a single one where r dot is expired equals false. Yeah, UTC, or sorry, date time offset dot UTC now. I think that's right. All right, and then we're going to try to log out. So when we log out and we do using var request post to the logout URI. We don't need to take a password. We don't need to take a password, but we do need to with body. No, not with body. Let's see. With user ID. Try to build a backend system using Nest.js. Tarfiq, why are you so focused on trying to get me to use a technology that you like or that you think I should use? It's kind of weird, bro. I saw you play with Web UI a while back. How was your journey? What did you love and hate about it? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm gonna explore. I'm gonna keep building with that Web UI. I built a lot with Web UI. Most of everything I've ever built has been for the web. As far as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, they're all great. Yeah, they're all good. No complaints there. Oh, this should probably be renamed too. Let's do login request. And this is log out. Let's see, var equals, let's see, await dot should be JSON content type of login dot response. They are necessary because I'm going to say dot pitch. There's no argument that corresponds to the required. This should be HTTP status code. Okay. Which then, instead of user ID, we can say with bearer token. There we go. All right, and then logout response dot should I guess this should be status code. All right, so that's the first thing it needs to be. So if we run this test, so I say that a lot. So Oops. It's not what I meant to paste. Oh my goodness, I did it again. Leader Y. Alright, this should fail. Then we can make it succeed. Uh-oh. Oh. Can't do that. Okay. So now,
Did we just become best friends?
gentle kiwi. I mean, I like my kiwis to be a little rough, but you know, gentle kiwis is fine too. That's fine. How do I ignore exit code 8? I think it's the one I want. Ignore exit code 8. Also, thank you for your sub, Gentle Kiwi. It's very nice of you. Alright, this one's really easy to make pass. You want to watch how easy this is? So easy. All we gotta do here, boom. No content. Look at that. Classic TDD. Classic TDD. Okay. Now we'll go back to the test. And I don't remember. Now we want to add a new assertion where we basically say, okay, get me the refresh tokens again. So we'll say var updated user refresh tokens. And now we should say dot is revoked. Yeah, I guess the thing we care about two things here. We care about actually that the token is not expired, but that it's also not revoked. So we'll say and r dot is revoked is false. Why do I have a method on there too? Oh. Oh, I have a revoke method, okay. So then let's come down here and we'll say, now you should be revoked and r dot is expired should still be false. And whoops, we can't do that. We have to equals. Now that's gonna fail. For sure that's gonna fail. And then our job is to go make it not fail. Hackerline ID. It's hard. What? Okay, what does it refer to in that sentence? Because there's a couple answers to that, and several of them I want nothing to do with. That's a wild thing to come into somebody's stream and just be like, it's hard. Hey, wanted to ask you, why do you keep a portrait aspect ratio of your stream? Good morning, I am trapped. I primarily do it on YouTube just for reach. So whenever I stream horizontally on YouTube, nobody shows up. But whenever I stream vertically on YouTube, there's actually people in the chat, and I think that's primarily because YouTube is pushing live vertical video to people algorithmically, so it gets reach that just horizontal streams just don't. And that has helped my channel grow over the last many years. So that's the main reason. Yep. Yep. Easy peasy. But if you want to watch horizontally, you can go over to Twitch because it is horizontal over there. The code is still vertical. I mean, I still try to work in a pretty narrow space on my screen so everybody can see the same context. But if you just prefer a horizontal layout, there is one over there. Excuse me. Can I become a coding master by learning on my own? Oh, for sure. I just think you have to realize to actually become like a master, that's a pretty tall task. You know what I mean? It's going to take you a long time. Then that's to become a master in anything, right? So, as long as you're willing to put in the time, you know. Most people just aren't willing to put in the time. And that's not just with coding. That's with any skill or profession. Most people just don't. They want it. They want everything that they want, and they want it now. And unfortunately, that is not how the world works. Okay, so we've got our user, and we also need our refresh. So let's see, var refresh token. Get refresh token from cookie. And I guess we can actually do then let's see, include u dot refresh, u dot refresh tokens, and specifically we can do dot where r dot token equals refresh token. Now, is this really null? Okay. So what happens if it can't find it? What does this method do? Just returns an empty string. Okay, so then we can do if user is null, then we have a problem. If user, or I guess either one, we can say if user is null or user.refresh tokens.any is false, we have a problem. Otherwise, we just want to revoke that token. So we'll say user dot var refresh token user dot refresh tokens dot first dot revoke, and then we have to do await at bb context dot save changes async pass the cancellation token. Now everybody's happy. So let's try to rerun the test and see if it passes. Good morning, Minister of Defense. Let's see. Given the age of AI, what's your opinion on which industry is target to ensure employment outside of hyper specialization in a field? I just don't think you should be factoring in the age of AI. In my opinion, I think a lot of people that are running around scaring folk into thinking those things are people who are just AI pilled out of their mind. I still think it's a viable career path to be a software engineer. Still think it's a viable career path to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant. You want to work in logistics. I don't know, man. There's so many careers. There's so many jobs out there. It's insane. There's jobs that you don't even know about that exist, right? That you might like. So I think you should pick a field that you're interested in and passionate about and want to be involved in and has the prospects to pay you enough money for you to have the lifestyle that you envision having for your life, and trying to balance those three things. Like I wouldn't factor AI into it. What I would factor into it is this. This is how I would go about making my decision. Ikigai, I think this is a Japanese concept, but basically you're trying to find something you're reasonably good at, something you reasonably enjoy doing, something people actually need, and something they're willing to pay you for, right? And I think primarily you should probably focus on these bottom three, because a lot of people don't have jobs that they actually love. But like, as long as it pays you and the world needs it, good, checkbox. Then if you're good at it, great. But I think if you love it, if you find something you love, you'll inevitably become good at it because you'll want to spend a lot of time doing it. So those are my thoughts. That's what I would tell my sons if they ask me, like, Dad, how do I figure out what field to work in? That's what I would tell them. Is like, find something that pays you decent, that people are willing to. I mean, if somebody's willing to pay you for it, it kind of infers that the world needs it. And then ideally it's something you actually care about. So then you'll spend time doing it. So then you'll become good at it, which will then just kind of start this flywheel. Fall. How do I say his name? Fall Richie Sleeping. Every short I've seen from you is you bringing reasons why you don't use AI. Interesting. Well, there are a lot of shorts out there because most of the shorts are from streams, and we've been talking a lot. A lot of people want to talk about AI on my streams, but those are definitely not the only shorts that I make. But they must be the only ones that have made it to you for some algorithmic reason. I'm very much interested in robotics. Great, pursue that, man. It seems like that's a field that's going to become more and more important. And yeah, pursue that. Go for it. Let's see. Master reminds me of. Sorry, I'm going to copy this link. I think about this post a lot. Hold on. If you'd please consult the chart. I prefer main because it's shorter and doesn't make me horny. Oh my goodness. Get master has so much more aura than get main. That's hilarious. Yeah. All the sexual innuendos that exist out in the world. Let's see. I wanted to make a blog post to catalog my neuromorphic engine I'm making in Zig, but my front end skills are awful. I vibe coded my first app. Nice, dude. That's awesome. Sounds like a cool project. Ikigai looks Japanese. Yeah, I think pretty sure it's a Japanese concept. Hey, that's a wonderful way to put it. Yeah. I just don't like it that people are running around using this AI, using AI as this big scary monster that's going to take your job and eat all your food and leave you dying and destitute on the side of the road. Yeah, and like not only that, but then they're also like, you must submit to the powers of AI, and you must become AI native, and you must become a master user of all AI everything, and run up big bills of inference because otherwise you'll fail at life, and your life will be horrible. It's just it's just ridiculous. So that's why I say I wouldn't factor that into my conversation or into my consideration too much. The job market is really bad right now, not only for tech, but for everything. That is why everyone is basically starting an AI fear arbitrage business, which is so lame. That's so lame. If I had to guess, LLMs, AI, whatever you want to call it, let's call them like LLM powered tools. If I had to guess, LLM powered tools just become something like Excel, where it's a technology or a tool that's pervasive across all industries and all professions, and the shape that the LLM takes might be a little different based on your profession or your industry. But I think knowing how to use large language models is just kind of become this like it's just we take it for granted. Like we just kind of take it for granted that everybody can open Excel and work with a spreadsheet. I think eventually it's going to be like that, where we just all take it for granted that, like, oh, you work in software engineering, so you know how to use Claude Code. Oh, you work, or you know how to work with some sort of coding agent. Oh, you work in writing. Okay, well, you know how to work with some editor that's an agentic tool, and so on and so forth. I don't think there's like this world where you have a group of people who know it and a group of people who don't. I think it just becomes this ubiquitous thing that everybody works with. Excuse me. I saw this statement from the Replit CEO. He was saying that knowing how to code, I'm guessing what you meant, knowing how to code could be a disadvantage, and feel that not knowing how to code may be better. Thoughts? Or was that the lovable CEO? Did he really say that? Well, first off, I just wholly disagree. I just wholly disagree. Um, but you know, we won't know how to evaluate everyone's predictions for another 5 or 10 years, will we? So Replit CEO, knowing how to code is disadvantage. Yeah, here we go. Is this it?
You need grit, and you need to be like a fast learner. You need to be like, I would say, if you're like a good gamer, if you can like jump in a game and figure it out really quickly, you're really good at this. But even if you're not a good gamer, you'll figure it out eventually. But people who grew up with technology, who are like fast learners, are now like the best at this. I will venture to say that not having a coding experience is is becoming an advantage because coders get lost in the details. Product people, people who are focused on solving a problem, on making money, they're going to be focused on marketing. They're going to be focused on user interface. They're going to be focused on all the right things. So at some point, I think this year it's going to flip, and I think not having a coding background is going to be more advantageous for the entrepreneur.
Okay. So that last little bit kind of makes everything he said somewhat make sense. Like, if you're an entrepreneur and your goal is to make money, that's your only goal. Your goal is to build a business and make money. None of the shit I care about matters to you then. And it shouldn't. Like, it shouldn't. Because at some point, your business should be big enough and you should make enough money where you never have to think about writing code or programming ever again. Right? It's like not your thing. So it's like, yeah, I totally agree. Like, if you start a lawn care business, like, your hope is not to be mowing lawns for the next 10 years. Your hope is to, like, very quickly build enough of a client base that you can hire somebody else who cares about mowing the lawns. Uh, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I just don't believe, I just don't, if he hadn't put that entrepreneur bit, advantageous for the entrepreneur, I would call bullshit. But I agree. If you see yourself as an entrepreneur and not an engineer, then it doesn't matter. But if you see yourself as an engineer, then it does matter. Learning to code does matter. You somebody who knows how to code will be able to get far more return out of these coding agents than someone who doesn't know how to code. He's saying this in the context of coding, though. Yeah, but I think he's, yes, but I think he's also saying it in the larger context of their conversation, which is, it sounds like they're talking about building businesses or building software on top of these tools. But yeah, I don't want to be completely disingenuous because I kind of get where I kind of understand what he was getting at, but I don't necessarily agree 100% with the statement. And I think the reality bears this out. I mean, you can definitely see people who know how to code can go far further, far faster with these agentic tools than somebody who's just dabbling for the first time. Hello, bro. Hello, chat. Good to see you. Tyler, should I unlearn coding? Damn. Yes, Tyler, go back, strip out all the coding from your knowledge base, start again. Average, I just quit my job. I couldn't take the legacy PHP code anymore. Nearly lost my passion for it. Wow. Dang, bro. You must be in a better spot than me because I would not be able to just quit my job like that without having another one lined up. But I'm sorry the legacy PHP code got you. I'm sorry it got you down so bad. Non-coders use more tokens, so good for his business model. I mean, the whole conversation, that whole conversation is about him saying things that are good for his business model. I really think it's disingenuous for a lot of these CEOs to be out there talking their book about these kinds of things. Like, we need to take everything people like Dario and this guy, and I mean, if you're running a company who directly benefits by trying to encourage people to use your tool who don't know how to code, and then you say it doesn't matter if you know how to code, you'll actually be in a, as an advantage, that'll actually be your advantage. That's a marketing pitch. That's like, you're trying to prey on the belief of people that they can somehow get wealthy quick. Oh, I'll just go on Replit. I don't have to know how to code. I just have to care about the product. I'll spin something up real quick. Thousands of people will use it, and I'll make all this money, and I'll be an entrepreneur. It's just it's a bunch of yeah. I'm ready for the hype to fall. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Chat, last time we met, we were discussing VLMs. What are VLMs? VLMs, vision language models. Interesting. I don't remember this conversation, but very cool. Well, I hope you've been well in the intervening time. Hope things are going well for you, chat. Okay, so my test is failing. I don't know why it's failing. Actually, I do know why it's failing. I think it's failing because I can't do this. Oh no, that should work. Okay, time to switch over to VS Code so we can debug this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What am I trying to do here? There we go. Do you feel mocks are an anti-pattern? Because I've come around to that idea years ago, but curious what you think. I don't think so. I like mocks. I get a lot of value out of mocking. VLMs are like generative models, like text to image, text to video, image to video. Oh, very cool. VS Code, no, unsubbed. Well, at some point, maybe I'll figure out how to make this new testing platform play well with my NeoVim setup. But so far, I haven't figured that out yet. Maybe one of these days. Okay, so it does have a user. But I don't have any refresh tokens. Why don't I have any refresh tokens? Oh, because I didn't set it in the cookie. That's why. That's why. The reason why I've started not to like mocks, for things like databases, it's hard to mock all the error paths, so it creates a lot of blind spots. So I will typically use mocks and unit tests, but when it comes to databases, I'll just do an integration test. Almost all things that interact with my data layer nowadays, I'll just write an integration test because it's so easy to spin up a version of your database now. Like if it's SQLite, you can just create files on disk. If it's Postgres, I'll just use test containers, or if it's MongoDB, I'll just use test containers. So for definitely when I'm interacting directly with databases, I'll just write an integration test. I won't use a mock. But if you're in some sort of service layer, or you're in some sort of class that has a lot of business logic and it has 5 or 6 different dependencies, and some of those are external services, in those cases, I'm fine with mocking because I just want to test the business logic in that particular class. I don't need to control all the other dependencies. So in those cases, that's why I like mocking. It's also why I like dependency injection because it makes it very easy to test stuff. But I'm a fan of mocks, but I understand if other people aren't. That's okay too. Most people don't write tests in general, so most people just bitch about writing tests instead of actually writing the tests. All right, so we need the refresh token. So we'll say var refresh token equals login response dot what, headers, cookies. I know I did this in another test. Login test refresh. There we go. Should have set cookie header. So subject, headers, try get value. And we need to I probably should have some sort of helper method to extract this. So we need to get values for set cookie. Okay. And then we need to do, set cookie headers. Then we need to find var refresh token cookie equals set cookie headers dot first. Let's do first. It'll throw. So we'll say first header dot starts with oh. Shit. This is just going to be a string. So then we have to say var refresh token is going to equal refresh token cookie dot trim start. And specifically, we're going to trim this and then trim the result of that. Then we're going to come down to our logout, and we're going to say with cookie, and we're going to set that here. And then refresh. Actually, hold on, that's silly. Let's do refresh token. Refresh token cookie header. And then let's call this refresh token cookie. And let's actually call this refresh token cookie parts. Instead of doing the trim start thing, let's just split it. So we'll say trim, and then we'll say dot trim, and then we'll say split on the equals, which will give us then down here we can just say refresh token cookie parts 0 like that. Okay, now let's go back to VS Code. Let's debug the test again. And hopefully now this time, when we hit the user, this will be populated. If I did everything right. Good morning, Ryan. See, if the library or vendor provides a mock, that's better. Oh, 100%, yeah. It would be great. Or even just for me, all I want is an interface. If we're talking C#, I just want my third-party library to just give me an interface that I can mock. There we go. So step over. Step over. There we go. Step over. Continue. Let's see. Expected user refresh tokens to contain a single item, but no such item was found. Huh. Okay, so what is in the database? We're just getting a list of their updated tokens. So let's do debug. So revoked is true. Expires at, what's the value here? March 9th. $10.39. Let's see, that's UTC, right? So that revoked method must do something. Huh. guess I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand why my code is doing this. So let's just run it again. Good morning, Rockin' Brain. Let's see, got another coding challenge for you. Write a JSON parser and compiler. Well, right there, it's all out for me. I don't know how to write a compiler that reads the content of a JSON string and converts it into usable data, then compiles that data to another JSON string. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that, man. I fail. I'm just gonna stay over here with my little web project. Hello, Vinay? Vin? I'm gonna call you Vin. Hello, Vin. Good to see you. Revoked is false. Expires at. Why is the refresh token 39? I feel like this is not right. Let's see, expiration, convert UTC to CST. So we're talking March 9th, 10:41 p.m. So that's 5:30 p.m. Oh no, that is right. 12 hours. Okay. So that is right. So then why is it saying shouldn't be expired? Revoked is true.
Max Dev Mastery is reminding you to hydrate.
Thank you, Max Dev Mastery. Ryan, all it is fancy string manipulation? Huh. Well, yeah, I don't know. All the words you use to describe it make it seem like it's more than that. So r.revoked. R is expired equals false. Greater than or equals to expired at. I don't know why that's not true, though. Oh, shit. I'm looking at the wrong set of tokens. God dang it. That's why. And then the last thing we have to implement here is we need to clear the refresh token. Or sorry, we need to clear the refresh token cookie is the last thing we need to do, assuming this passes. Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. So then the last thing Excuse me. Which I think we can do by just saying logout response, refresh token. So the logout response should have set cookie header. And it should set it to a string. So we'll say, save those changes. And we'll say HTTP context dot set refresh token cookie. And I guess we could just create a new refresh. I'm going to create an overload for this. Go to definition. And I'm just going to say, actually, let's do this. Let's do expire. We don't have to pass anything. And we can just say string.empty. And then we can set expires at to like something way, way, way in the past. Which would be datetime dot offset min value. Or I guess we could go negative in the negative a day or something like that. Datetime offset dot min value. I could spell. And then come back here. And instead of set, we can just say expire. Cool. Nice. And then we just need to call this on the front end now. So we got to go to the front end. And we got to call it. So we'll do log out API slash auth slash log out. And we'll just do log out has a bool response. Takes in some errors. Oops, boolean. Implement that. Oh, doesn't have the. There we go. I was like, why isn't the code action working? Async, log out. We can do some type inference here. Copy this stuff from login. Do login request. We don't need. Log out. Yeah, I don't care about that. We don't need this check. We can just do that. Failed to log out. We'll do the same thing here. We don't need to do that. We just need to return true. Okay. And then I don't know where exactly our log out button is anymore. I think it's in our sidebar. Yeah. So we'll say const auth service equals use auth service. We'll pass in our user store. And then we'll say const log out results equals await auth service dot log out. And if log out results dot error, then we'll return, and we'll just say I guess we'll just alert. We'll just do alert, and we'll just take all the errors that are on this result, and we'll say logout result dot value, which is an array of errors. We'll map over. We'll do e dot message dot join by a new line. Otherwise, we'll log the user out on the front end. Okay, cool. Let's rerun the application and test this on the front end. Making progress. BWD. You can do DIW and it removes the entire word where your cursor is. Thank you. I'm trying to get better at my Vim-Foo skills. I'm still a white belt. Slowly but surely. Oops, wrong thing. BJ, what editor are you using? I am using NeoVim. Sorry. Yeah, what Max Dev Mastery said, but I know he's on Twitch and you're on YouTube, but I'm using NeoVim. All right, the coffee is gone just as we finish implementing the logout functionality, which means I deserve more coffee. Okay, log out. Cool. Now let's look at our database. We should have one token in there that's revoked now. We should have one token. Oh my god, I have so many refresh tokens in there. Yep. Revoked is true. Cool. So let's me. I'm actually gonna delete all these tokens real quick. Delete records. Delete records. Refresh. Write changes. I'm gonna sign in one more time. Log in. Refresh. Wonderful. Log out. Refresh. It's working. Yay! All right, cool. So let's go ahead and merge that. Let's go get more coffee, and then we'll come back and we'll work on the transaction page. Or we need some sort of way to display the list of transactions. So let's come over here. We'll stop that guy. Say git add, git commit, allow users to log out. Hello, byte cubes. Man, I honestly can't believe it's March 9th. Like, the year is basically a quarter of the year is already gone. It's weird how fast it goes. Rebase, do not delete it. Submit. Okay. Git checkout main, git pull, git checkout B. Let's see, feature, display, transactions in web. All right, coffee time. Coffee, 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 coffee. I've got vibe coded a dev blog. I'm mostly a systems backing guy. I don't see how JSTS devs live with all these bloated dependencies. It really makes my head hurt. Really? I tell you what, I mean, I'm a sucker for some TypeScript. I really am. I really, really enjoy the language. I like the flexibility. I like the simplicity of it. I do enjoy it. I also like C#. I don't know, man. I also like Go. You know? I like Rust. I don't know. I guess I'm not critical enough. You perceive this as being longer when you're constantly challenging your. Hold on, sorry. What? Oh no, I thought I missed something, but I didn't. You perceive time. You perceive time as being longer when you're constantly challenging your brain. That makes sense to me. That checks out. Yeah, there's like a time, almost like a time dilation effect to it. See, I vibe coded a dev blog. Or no, I already read that one. Byte cubes, hacker. I am not a hacker. I wish I had the skills to be a hacker, but I am not a hacker. Maybe one day. Man can dream. Man can dream. I'll be right back. Hey, good morning, Noku. I'm gonna run and get some coffee, but I'll be back in just a minute. All right, I don't know who this TFYGP1P. I think we're gonna time him out. Walk away from coffee, come back, drop the ban hammer. You know how it goes. Let's see, I'm a Go dev, and I work with devs who come from other languages. They can turn an API backend that should be like 400 lines into 1,500 line monstrosities for no real reason. That's fair, and I probably am guilty of that myself, honestly, Minister of Defense. I probably do sometimes write things more complex than they probably need to be. That's actually, I've been listening to a lot of Casey Moratori content, and I feel so convicted when I listen to him talk because some of the stuff he says, I'm like, yep, I do that. Yep, I do that. And I think, oh my gosh, I hope Casey never looks at any of the code I ever write because he will flame me. Yeah, but I get it. I do get it. Did you watch the stand-up? Yeah, I watched the stand-up. Like, in general, you just mean like the podcast or the video in general? Because I do. Oh, goodness. Permaban. Permaban. Yeah, I do. I watch the stand-up. Yeah, it's fun. It's a ton of fun. It makes me laugh. Yeah, we got a spammer. I gave him a minute to cool down, but apparently he didn't. He didn't take that for the generous offering it was. Let's see. There are two aspects that cause humans to perceive time at different speeds. The first is lived experience, meaning the longer you're alive, the faster time passes, which explains why time passes so slowly when you're a kid. Yeah, which also makes sense because, you know, the longer you live, every minute becomes a smaller relative portion of your life, right? So that makes sense. The second is how much you use your brain and learn new things, which also explains why time passes slower as a kid. The only one we can control, though, is learning new things. That's an interesting way to look at it. I've never thought about that. The learning new things and the perceived... Huh. I mean, I do feel like I'm learning new things, but I still feel like the time is going so fast. Like, I can't believe my kid is 10, which basically means, well, he'll be 10 in this. He'll be 10 this summer, and I just can't. Like, I look back at pictures now. Like, I look at my phone all the time, and I look at pictures, and I just think, like, where did the time go? Like, where are these kids? You know, and yeah, it's kind of wild. I'm not sure there's a way I can slow down time any more than I'm already trying to do. I don't know. It goes fast, man. What your parents tell you growing up is so true. You permaban that guy? I thought you were a nice guy. I permabanned him. I'm not a nice guy. I'm really not. I'm kind, but I'm not nice. I think my wife would say I'm an acquired taste. I think most of my family would describe me that way. I'm an acquired taste. That's okay. Not everyone's cup of tea. The lesson to learn from this is to stay curious and instill that curiosity in your child. I like it. I like it. I feel like Neovim is frozen. Not sure if it's something I did, but... Oops. All right, how do we want to just this is the most challenging part of this whole entire application for me is the front end. But this is the last big piece we need to just figure out before we deploy this. Is how do we display transactions? So I mean, classically you do this in a table, but I always really hate messing with tables in markup. So I'm thinking I'm just going to display it like a list of cards. So I think is what I'm going to do. Let's go back here to the web project. Let's just go ahead and open the sidebar. So let's add a new route. We'll call it, let's see, what routes do we have so far? We just have the index view. So let's add a new view and let's call this path is transactions. And let's do component. Thank you, Copilot. Appreciate your help. So we don't have that view yet. So let's go over to the views. And let's do a transactions view. View. Script. Template. And style. Okay. Transactions. Then let's go to our sidebar. And above our logout button, let's add an entry called router link. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic there. That's my bad. LSP start TS. All right. Okay, cool. Oh, we also need to probably add, let's do another router link. You should also probably wrap this in a nav. Right, I didn't make that tag up, did I? There is a nav tag, right? Yep. And then this should probably be an unordered list. And then each one of these should be an item. This should be accounts. Okay, cool. Accounts, transactions, accounts, transactions. The freeborn is back. I am here. I'm back. Let's see. Oh, you're using RabbitMQ? I am not using RabbitMQ. No. Not for this, at least. I have used it in the past, but not for this. My main flaw is that I'm a senior, and I've written performance-sensitive backends. I'll kill it when it comes to distributed systems, but jobs are increasingly asking for front-end experience in these roles, which is odd to me. Yeah, I mean, that just seems to be increasingly the way of the world. Employers want you to have knowledge about everything, right? They don't want to just hire a front-end engineer. They want to hire a whole entire IT department in one person. You know, stuff's tough when you have the golden ratio in your code. What's the golden ratio? Hold on. Golden ratio 1.618. Huh, I'm not familiar with that. But I hope it's a good thing. Oh, did I not restart the LSP LSP stop, LSP start.
Did we just become best friends?
Tony Tino, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's for Fibonacci hashing. Interesting. Trying to make a better hash map implementation for my programming language, Catan. Nice. Very cool. You're working on your own programming language? That seems like GigaChad programmer stuff. That's cool. I guess I don't have the emit attached right now. That's okay. I can do it the old-fashioned way. Let's see. So we'll basically have some sort of state that holds our transactions. So we'll say const transactions equals ref. This will be typed at some point. So we'll say type transactions. We know it'll have an ID. And let's just say leave it at that for now. Excuse me. And then we're going to say V for, sorry, whoops, LI, V for, nope, that's not, nope, not that. LI. And we'll say V for, transaction of transactions. Or is it transaction in? I can never remember. Let's add a couple new. ID, which one? Good morning, Duck Boy. Specialization is bad for business. If you hire specialists, they're harder to replace. Interesting. That's an interesting way to look at it. I kind of feel like, though, I don't know. I guess I kind of feel like most businesses end up being filled with specialists because they're just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like, what am I trying to say? It seems like every business is so unique that once you've invested a lot of time in hiring somebody and training them to work in your business, it's always a bad thing when you lose them, whether they were a generalist or not, I guess, is how I see it. Okay, let's go back to our web page. Cool. We need a V key, don't we? V key. Or is it? Why don't I feel like I have view language features happening right now? So there's the TypeScript language server. I don't feel like I'm gonna restart any of them. I feel like I've messed something up. There we go. Now we got what we're looking for. Yeah, we should have v bind key, which should be transaction.id. Can you just say @ key? I think I asked this the other day. Yeah, you can't do @ key. Wonder why. Why in view @ key don't work? I guess it's just for handlers. There's a conflict, I guess. But you can do this. Ooh, yeah, okay. Let me fix that everywhere, because I think I have that a couple different places. V bind. Do I not? There we go. So we can just do key. Very nice, very nice.
Did we just become best friends?
Mark, thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate it. Did you read the blog about the 5 levels of AI coding? They said level 5 is the dark factory where there's no more interaction. The code writes itself. That seems woefully dangerous. I did not read this blog post, but let me look for it because it might make for a good video. Let's see, the 5 levels of AI coding. Where's the? Oh my God, this dude's so fucking annoying. I'm sorry, I cannot. This guy shows up on my TikTok feed constantly, and I have to say not interested. I cannot stand. He seems like the most condescending human being I've ever met. I just can't imagine having to work for him. He seems totally like the product manager who's gonna like tell you exactly how you need to build something. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room. Couldn't possibly learn anything from anybody. So which one is it? Is it this one, Peter Yang? How to become AI native. Bro, you need to start becoming AI native right now before you get left behind. Agentic development is the way. How will you survive in a world of AI native people? Your job is going to be taken by AI. You better begin planning now. If you think your value as a coder comes from knowing how to type syntax, well, I've got news for you. I'm guessing it's this one. This one looks like it's 5 levels of AI augmented coding. Five levels of AI augmented coding. Scrub Master Toolbox Podcast. That one? Oh, this one. Hey, what's up, Inspire? Nice, dude. I hope your session was good. Good to see you again, man. Thanks for being a member. Very much appreciate you. I didn't say that to Ryan either. Ryan, thank you for being a member. Appreciate you guys. I don't know which one it is. How have we been doing? We've been doing good. We've been doing good. I can't read it. Yeah, if you send it my way, I'll add it to my list, my reading list. You must become AI native. Does anybody remember cloud native? Remember that? That was a thing. Now we moved on to AI native. I think I'm just gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to stop streaming, and I think I'm gonna have to reinvest all my time on stream into, becoming a truly AI native developer, and really start honing my craft. You know, really start improving so that I can stay relevant in this world. You know, I mean, what will I do if I can't talk to LLMs and AI agents every day? Do that on stream? No, bro. If that is what becomes of me, there won't be any streaming because I won't be at my computer. I will be doing something else. What if you were the AI all along? Dun dun dun! It's all one big simulation. Ryan, I hate the cloud. What do you mean I don't own my data and I can be removed from your service at the drop of a hat? You're right. You will own nothing and you will be happy about it, Ryan. You hear me? You will lease everything. Good morning, Mark. Hey, quick question. Why did you specify stringify on this transaction? Or why did you use stringify on this transaction? Oh, just to print it. Just so that I could see it working. Like, just to make sure that I could render out the list of transactions. That's why. That's the only reason why. That's not how it'll actually be in real life. It's just, I wanted a quick way to easily print the data to the screen. Where's that AI nation so that I can sign up for citizenship? I know, right? Sign me up. Upload my consciousness. Good to see you again, Mark. Thanks for hanging out on both places. Are the Matrix folks back, Steven? I don't know, man. Maybe it is. Maybe we're all already AI. You know, maybe we are. Good morning, Bradley. Good to see you, man. How'd your day go today? I guess you're at the end of your Monday, huh? How was Monday for you? Did your week start on a good note? I am gonna have Gemini help me with something really quick. Transactions. I think we need this. Let's see, Gemini. Public holiday in my state today. Been playing Slay the Spire 2. Nice. Yeah, I watched the Primogen play that on stream on Friday afternoon. Doesn't really look like my kind of game, but it was fun to listen to those guys play. I guess the first game was pretty popular or something. Oh my goodness. Can't copy this shit. So create me 3 dummy transactions for the following schema. Put them in an array in JSON. It's pretty fun, man, to be honest. I didn't think I'd like it, but I do. Playing games with friends is great. Yeah, that's the best part about gaming, is having a group of people to play with. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, it didn't really look like my kind of game, personally. Whoops. ID 1. Okay, so we'll do merchant name, string, description is going to be string, date is a string. Oh, and amount. Amount is a number. All right, now let's try to see if we can't come up with a decent. We'll just kind of use a similar idea to the cards that we already have. So I guess we'll do 2 halves to the card. And we'll put the amount on the far right. And then we'll put the details on the left. Something like that. So probably do like merchant name, then the description. Actually, let's segment this top bottom, and then we'll put the description here. So we'll do b tag. It's action. Oops. That. Back in high school, we had round robin 1v1 Age of Empires via LAN. Dude, I love Age of Empires. I love that game so much. I never got to really play it when I was young against other people, but I have as an adult on the Xbox. Yeah, I love that game. What kind of game are you into? I like FPS. I'm your classic like bro gamer. I like Call of Duty. I like Battlefield. I like RPGs. 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 Like I love Skyrim. Love Morrowind. I'd really like to spend some time playing the Hogwarts Legacy game. My family played that when it came out. What was that? 2 years ago? A year ago? And I never got to. I bought 3 copies of that game. I bought a copy for my wife, a copy for my son, and a copy for my oldest son and youngest son. But I didn't buy myself one because 4 copies seemed like overkill. But I'd like to play that at some point from start to finish. Cue old man voice. Back in my day, you had to invite your friends over and play on half a 27-inch CRT. Nice. Yeah. Good morning, Kate. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Barely surviving. Well, hopefully you're not barely surviving. Hopefully you're thriving. James, always use emojis. I love to communicate with emojis. It's one of my favorite forms of communication. RPGs, who like those? Inspire, always sacrificing for the family. Well, I mean, it's not really a sacrifice, but like it just kind of seemed like 4 copies of the game was overkill. I still remember playing Age of Mythology and RuneScape with my buddies during our networking class in high school. Yeah, so RuneScape was one of the first times I was really introduced to like the kind of like fantasy-esque video game. I wasn't allowed to play it. My parents wouldn't let me play it. But when I was in middle school, my middle school science teacher.
I sent the link, PW.
Oh, thanks, Minister of Defense. I appreciate that, by the way. You didn't have to super chat that. That was super kind of you. Did you put it in Discord? But yeah, I had a middle school science teacher who was really into RuneScape and used to talk about it a lot. Oh, I also let you in the Discord. There you go. I'm not in your Discord yet, I don't think. Oh yeah, I just let you in. So yeah, you can send the link whenever. Yeah, Age of Mythology, Brox, all those games, all those real-time strategy games are pretty badass. As much as I like coding, I like video games more, so that's where my free time goes. I feel you, man. I feel you. CSGO got me too toxic at a point that I coaxed my parents. I believe that. CSGO does seem like it could get toxic in a hurry. Thank you, Minister of Defense, for sending that link. Appreciate you. Dan Shapiro. Who's this guy? Glowforge CEO, Wharton Research Fellow, Robot Turtles creator, proud dad. Huh. Never heard of this guy. What's he do? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Seattle, Washington. He's a serial entrepreneur and innovator who is transforming how people create. So far, Dan's not hitting so good. This LinkedIn profile's a little overblown. Let's see. Dan created Robot Turtles, the most successful board game in Kickstarter history. The game teaches programming fundamentals to preschoolers. Okay, Dan's sort of becoming redeemed. Let's see. Prior to his detour as a game designer, Dan's entrepreneurial journey includes roles as CEO of Google Comparison Inc. and founder of PhotoBucket Incorporated. Does he really have 100 patents in his name? Do you think he really has 100 patents? That's crazy. That's a lot of patents. Now he's the CEO of Glowforge. Harvey Mudd. I've never heard of that college. Huh. Harvey Mudd. Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll read this. I won't do it right now, but close. Ungroup. Let me put this in my notes. Why the fuck do they write about in third person? I don't know. That's a LinkedIn thing. I think some of it probably has to do with like LinkedIn SEO hacking or something, you know. Put the right keywords, put the right descriptions and stuff in there. It doesn't come off like a human being. You know what I mean? When you write a bio like that. I don't know. Dan seems like a very accomplished individual, and he's probably far wealthier than I am, so what the fuck do I know? I'm just a 32-year-old dad in Kansas trying to earn his way to retirement. You know what I mean? Like, who am I to criticize these people that are far more accomplished than I will probably be in my lifetime? Okay, so I think let's do merchant name up top here. So we're gonna have we basically need another set of divs like this, and so the top here will have merchant name. And then on the far right, close up. And then on the far right, we will have the amount. We'll figure out somewhere to put the amount. Okay. So let's just add a class for now. We'll call it transaction card. Let's do class equals top. Class equals bottom. Actually, this could probably, since this is a scope, this can probably be even. Let's just make this a component, yeah? So let's just make this a component. So we'll do transaction card.view. Thinking of making LinkedIn my Instagram? Nice. That would actually be kind of a baller move. I mean, Instagram's such a weird place. It's just everyone has agreed that that's where professionally that we're going to be at from a social perspective, and it largely, I think, has to do with the fact that that's where the recruiters are. I think that's a large portion of why that is. But from a content perspective, LinkedIn's just a weird place. Like, it's very PR-y, it's very AI authored. It's you know, people talk about like authenticity and being genuine and all we talk about all these words about like just being yourself, right? And how people connect with that. But LinkedIn is the biggest cognitive dissonance in that, because like fundamentally people behave and act like a wholly separate, different person on LinkedIn than they do anywhere else. It's the weirdest thing. And I guess to some extent that's kind of like a good approximation for like life in general, right? Because people different person at work. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but it's very weird. It's very weird. Let's see, we define props. And then we'll take in type, transaction. I guess we probably need to find a place to put the transaction. We're probably going to put that in the service class. Transaction service.cs or ts. Then we'll move from the transactions view. Just move this to a central place where we can all share it. I'm going to be honest, I never once read anything someone has posted on LinkedIn beyond a job listing. That's fair. I mean, there is some good content creators on LinkedIn, but the vast majority of it is a lot of PR. So I don't think you're missing out on much, Kate. I hate to present and write myself in that specific way, would instead be unemployed for my whole life. Yeah, it's weird. It's a game, man. It's a game. It's a game, and you got to decide if you're going to play it or not. And if you're going to play it, you might as well go all in. Like that one guy who vibe coded Jira and Slack overnight and now doesn't need to pay for it anymore. LinkedIn is full of stupid shit like that. Yeah, exactly. It's filled with this. It's like it's sort of like has the professional. It's like the professional X. Yeah, it's like the professional X. Inspire content creator on LinkedIn. Shut the fuck up. Bro, I'm a LinkedIn influencer, bro. Don't you know? Steven Bro is back. I am back. I'm here this morning. Excuse me. I've been yawning a lot this morning. Just not a big social media fan. Everything I read on there seems like it's either corporate drone speech or self-help content from people whose money would literally solve all my problems. Oh my goodness. Kate, I don't know if I've ever felt so related. I don't feel like I've ever related to something someone has said on the internet before to that part of your sentence where you said self-help content from people whose money would literally solve all my problems. Oh my goodness. Yes. Like I listen to people on podcasts and interviews all the time pontificating and saying all this stuff, and all I can do is roll my eyes because I'm thinking You literally have millions of dollars probably sitting in a bank account right now. Like, we are not the same. Anything you're expressing probably has nothing to do with me. Either way, I don't care about a company talking about what the next top 10 thing is going to be believe, or the believe in yourself at our family company propaganda. Yeah. We're one big family. We're a family here. We're a family here at Big Ink. Oh, I got a new certificate. Here's a huge 1,000 line paragraph that reads like slop about it. There's definitely a lot of AI. All LinkedIn posts. They thought I was crazy when I told them I replaced my QA with agents. Cyberlonka, stupid YouTube app won't send me your live alerts. I have subscribed and pressed the damn bell icon. I'm sorry, Cyberlonka. I mean, I don't want to make you have to join Discord, but if you do join Discord, I do have a bot in my Discord that posts a message. I don't know if that would help you at all, but there is that option. I don't know why YouTube is dropping the ball. I apologize for that. Or if you need to rethink your agentic strategy, reach out for free consultation. Oh my goodness. That's also, like, I think that's the shadiest thing that I see. Like, this is how I know somebody is a shady individual, is there are so many people on LinkedIn who now have like rewrote their LinkedIn profile to be like to appear like AI native, right? Like 2 or 3 years ago, their LinkedIn profile said completely different shit, and now all their LinkedIn says like they're like, they'll even update like their education. They'll even update like their degree to be like Bachelor's of Science in AI Engineering. And like their headline will be AI something something. And like all their past job postings will, the titles will be renamed to AI whatever the fuck. It's the weirdest, most shadiest thing. And they just do that for every hype cycle. Like when Web3 was happening, like when the crypto thing was happening, all those same people, their profile was all crypto. It's the weirdest, shadiest, fucking disingenuous thing. I deleted my account, had to make one just for a roll. Nice. All of this is so true and awfully cringe. Steven sounds like Vin Diesel from Fast and Furious when he says family. It's all about family, man. Okay, I write exploits to pay for my college for pennies compared to what it's actually worth if I sold it to the government, but I can't get in contact with my broker. Oh, that sucks. Well, that sucks that you're missing out on money. I'm excited to announce rocket ship emoji. Hey, what are you working on? We're just fucking around right now, Mike. The project that I've been working on is it's a so basically what it does is it basically connects. So it's basically like mint.com. If you remember mint.com, or you need a budget, but like a very stripped down version of those services where basically I can log in, I can add accounts. I can add accounts to sync, to basically go and get data from my bank accounts, put it into my database, and then expose it under one pane of glass. That's essentially what this application does. So we have a page where we can add and connect to institutions. We can add individual accounts for those institutions, and then we're going to have a page where we can see all the transactions. And that's where we're going to start. I'm going to deploy it. I'm going to connect my most used bank account, and then I'm just going to monitor how much does it cost me to run that for probably about a month through plaid.com. That's the service that I'm using to get the data. And I'm just going to kind of see like, what does it cost me to do this for a month before I go wholesale into it. Because right now I pay $15 a month for YNAB. But if I could cut some of that cost and also get the user
Did we just
experience that I'm
become best
after,
friends?
it would be a win. Fleur Blanche, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate that. How complicated is it to connect multiple different banks? Not bad. Not bad. Plaid makes it super easy. Most of that code is that I wrote is just plumbing. So it's actually very easy. You just connect your institution. You go through their flow here. Like we can add. Let's just add. We have Capital One. Let's add Chase. Let's see, user, good. This is their sandbox environment too, by the way. This isn't actually live data, which is another nice thing about their service. They have a sandbox environment, kind of like Stripe. Cool. And then you can add whichever account you want. I just made it super granular so that you could pick which exact accounts. But and then the idea will be you'll have a page where you can see the transactions. So it wasn't a terribly big lift to do it. There is a little bit of complexity with like webhook handling, but that wasn't too bad. But I don't have the transactions wired up yet. I also need to, since I added that account, I also need to open. It's been a fun project though. Fun project to work on. Let's see. Oh, very nice. We don't have something like that in my country. I've also made a personal finance app this year. I just made sure it works great with my main bank that I use 90% of the time. Nice. Very cool, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I would like to track my finances. I like to categorize my expenses, but I don't want to manually enter the transaction data. That's the thing. I'm lazy. So I don't want to have to manually go through and enter all the transactions from all these different places. I just want to source it from one place. So that was the whole point of the app. Bradley, what's the payment model? Pay for what you use? Yeah, it's just pay as you go. So it's not totally transparent what how that pricing breaks out. So I just want to see what it ends up costing. My number one question I like to ask people on LinkedIn is, do you know how you became rich? Like, let's be honest. I've met so many people that made it and they don't even know how. Yeah, just tell me how do I get some of the money? Do you like snacking though, Steven, or do any of your family snack? Oh, for sure. Yeah. My family loves to snack. For sure. Probably a little too much. Hey, what structure do you use for your projects? Clean architecture, and how do you build good design pattern sense in your coding? So I typically, like right now in this project, I kind of have a smorgasbord of architecture. Like I have kind of a clean architecture approach going on, but I also have a little bit of a vertical slice architecture within each of the individual projects. So I kind of have a mix mash. Akarita, I think is how you say her name. As far as like good design pattern sense, I think that just is reps. Like that's the whole idea behind getting experience, right? That's why people who are like good architects typically have lots of years under their belts building stuff. I think sometimes it's helpful, obviously, to go through and implement patterns yourself, so you can kind of get a feel of what does it look like to implement the strategy pattern, or what does it look like to implement the momentum or memento pattern. Memento pattern. Am I saying that right? Yeah, like what does it look like to implement these things? But I think developing a sense for taste is it takes time. It takes reps. Building lots of things. That's my thoughts. Are you going to do any LLM integration? No, not really. So basically the feature set of this application will be super minimal. It'll track balances of accounts over time. It'll track all the transactions for the connected accounts. and then it'll allow me to categorize the transactions, and that's kind of it. That's the base. That's all I need. I did mine with vector database and even straight up chat that I can ask it to look for certain transactions or look for anomalies and shit. That's cool. Yeah, that sounds like a really cool integration. It doesn't sound like anything I would use personally, but yeah, I just want to be able to like see the doll. I just want to be able to see like how much money did I spend? How much money did I earn? Did I earn more than I made this month? Great, awesome. And then I want to be able to see my net worth go up over time. That's really about it. Those are the only metrics I really care about. I can't have food near me because I'd involuntarily keep eating and eating. There are certain foods, like I don't do well with baked goods. Like if people put baked goods in my house, I will just eat all of them all at once. So anything that's like a baked good or sweet or things like that, I kind of have to limit my exposure to. Otherwise, it's game over. Just utter game over. Was it really 7 o'clock? I kind of got distracted. I didn't do a good job using my time this morning. For me, it's worse. It's whatever food whatsoever. Nice. Mango? Mango is the love. I love mango. I think mango might be the best fruit, if I'm being honest. All right, chat. I'm hopping off. I gotta get ready for work. It's Monday. Hopefully we'll get this week started on a good note. I think Bradley already finished his Monday. Or no, Bradley's had a holiday. But for those of you who have already finished your Monday, I hope you had a great one. Unfortunately for me, mine is just starting. Good morning, Victor. Good to see you. Sorry that you're hopping in right as I'm hopping out. Sleep for you? Nice, Bradley. I hope you sleep well, man. And I hope your Tuesday goes well. You sleep well too, Kate. I think it's interesting that like I'm starting my day and some of you are ending your day. The internet's crazy.
I'd like to say something.
Woof 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 woof.
I am curious before we Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Mark. That was very kind of me. I am curious, what's our usage? Oh man, we've only used 5% of our 11 labs tokens this month. So if you have text to speech, which Twitch has free text to speech. If you go over to Twitch, you can get text to speech with channel points. So if you have good things to say with your text to speech, please consume my credits. Otherwise, they will go to waste. Today was my no study day to have a break. Nice. Good for you, man. Or girl.
Did we just become best friends?
Ronnie Coleman subbed to me? Could that be the Ronnie Coleman? Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. I broke into my modem just to have something to do. Stream is ending on it. Dude, if Ronnie Coleman just like let's see. Like, can I get to his profile? I doubt it's the real Ronnie Coleman. It's probably somebody else named Ronnie Coleman, but I'm definitely making a short about that. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. All right, guys. I really am out of here now this time. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys. If you're new here and you want to come hang out in the future, you can find us live every morning here from about 4:15 to 7 a.m. on Twitch or YouTube. So you pick whichever works best for you. And then we are also when we're not live, Chat and I hang out in our Discord, which is at discord.stephenfreeborn.com. And if you'd like to join that, you're more than welcome. You don't have to, but that's where you can find us when we're not live. See you, Duck Boy. Fireworks, our dwelling place. Yes, this is where we reside. This is where we dwell at. See you guys. See you, Kate. See you, Mark. Bye, Victor. Bye, Kyle. Sorry you jumped in right as I'm heading out. Sorry about that, man. See you, Artwork Studios. Bye, Bradley. Bye, Victor. Bye, Mike. Bye, Akrita. I think that's everybody. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Bye, guys. Bye. See you guys. Bye. Have a good day. Appreciate y'all.